Welcome. I hope you're hearing my voice. I may have to look at my other video. Might have to redub it, unfortunately. Um, anyway, long story short, the Panasonic 28 to 200 millimeter f4 to 7.1 macro. Okay. And let me get rid of this stuff. So he talks about different lenses, like he likes the Tamron, but he likes the new 28 to 200 on the Panasonic. It's $900, and it's an f4 to 7.1. Okay. Stabilization. I just want to show you some pictures. Pictures are pretty awesome. I made a couple of mistakes today where I had the focus peaking on when I shouldn't have had it on because I was using the autofocus and stabilization. But you can see with the pictures and stuff, even with snow in it, they're excellent. It's an excellent all-in-one lens. It weighs less than the other cameras that I'm using. So the series I'm doing, this is part 2 of the all-in-one series, okay, with full frame cameras. So I already did the Canon 24 to 240. Now I'm on the Panasonic Lumix X 28 to 200 millimeters. F4 to 7.1. And I think that's the same one right there. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so it's 28 to 200. And most of the Panasonic lenses are the same size. So it's not in focus um, kind of lens. It extracts out. And you can see, here's the camera itself. And this is on the S5 II. Okay, what they're showing right here. It has OIS, which is optical um, internal stabilization. It's dust and splash and freeze resistant. And I've had some pretty sharp pictures with this camera the other night. So I'm scrolling down. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go to my other one where I did my own pictures, okay? Bring my mouse over here. Okay, let's resume this. So here's mine. It's by I-35 on the access road. They're making the overpass. It's a 5-year project. They're coming along. So that's 24 millimeters. That's 200 millimeters right here. Okay. It doesn't have the reach as the Canon one, but still, that's pretty good. It weighs, instead of taking the 24 to 70 and 7200, you just take one of this smaller lens, and you get pretty good pictures. And I took some pictures of the pre-bar, and then I went to the next neighborhood with all the deer, and I'm just going to zoom in. She's trying to figure out, what are you looking at? Are you looking at me? But look how sharp this is. Excellent photograph. And she is looking up, so they take stuff off the trees, and you'll see her jump. So she's moving toward it, and now she's jumping. So when the subject is moving a little bit, they're blurred, but this is pretty sharp right there, even if it's centered on her. Okay. So I did have a hit and miss with this camera. I had that blue um, Picnics on, and I should have not have it, but I like trying different features in the camera. So I used the Panasonic S1R Mark II. So this is at 24 millimeters. And you see it's not as sharp, but that's at 24. That's a better shot. That's probably a lot sharper. If I come in. And then, of course, there's that bird that I had at that park. That's pretty, that's the second day in a row I've seen this bird. So it moves real fast. I don't know what type of bird it is, but, it's like if you put him in the Olympics, I think he could beat any human walking. And he's right there. So that's 24, and that's at 200 millimeters. See, he's still pretty sharp. And I'm doing some far shots of the highway, and it's at 200 millimeters. Now, this is the thing that gets me is the highway's like this way. So I don't know if this goes on here or at the angle that I'm at, the highway's here. Okay, and that might be the thing because right at that corner is it curves. So that's from the access road to Retama Parkway. So there is a curve there. But it looks like they're building a overpass on Retama Parkway, but it's not. It's the access road. And farther shot, and then the working crew on the road, they finished one side, now they're working on the other side. Hopefully they'll be done by the end of this month and get our road back. But you see, I'm still missing. I mean, the car was the one I was focusing on. And there is rolling shutter on the camera. Okay. But it's not that bad. I was focusing on the car. And this is leaning, by the way. You can tell by the telephone poles and stuff, but you will get rolling shutter with the S1R2. And in the hospital, crane. And let's look in some people. So you see, they're talking to each other. Another person's up there doing electricity. There's 3 guys there on lifts. So they're working on electricity right now, which is a good thing. I don't see anybody else over here. Well, no, but there is a guy there. So anyway, this guy I've been watching. I'm going to show you him. So see, that guy's working. These 2 guys are working. This guy's on his phone. And he may be the boss. I don't know. He's standing this time. Or he might be sitting down. I don't know. And that may be a tablet. So, but you see, it looks sharp here, but other parts, it's not as clear. So it's sharp in the center, not sharp, as you go out. But still, that's a good looking picture if you're not pixel peeping. So here's the deer at 28 millimeters. And it's not that sharp. And now at 200 millimeters, it's a lot sharper. And this was the last camera I could get with this whole bunch. And they're wandering off into my neighborhood. Engelman Cemetery, 1866. Okay. So this is after the Civil War. And this is in Selma. So 24 millimeter. I'm sorry, 28 millimeter. And the gravestones are, the reading is facing that way. It's a private cemetery. But if you can focus in, even on the fake flowers, it looks pretty good. At the movie theater now, 28 millimeters. That looks pretty sharp, doesn't it? Let's go to 200 millimeters. And there you go. 28, 200. And there's the Santikos Theater, and that's at 200 millimeters, and that looks pretty sharp. I like the pictures that the Panasonic produces. And then, of course, the tower, and that's pretty sharp too. And then, of course, I've went by the cactus and stuff. I took less shots with the Lumix because I've been using this, so I've taken a lot of shots. You can see how sharp and clear it is at 200 millimeters. I mean, even look at the stems. It's a pretty shot, but it's not what I think I was on these two right here. But look, that's a pretty nice picture right there. You can do something like that. And of course, the cactus. That's a close-up. That's a pretty good shot right there. So you can see the needles, the little parts where the birds are beaten. I don't see any flowers on it yet, but that's where they will be growing. And that's a faraway shot. And then I started getting these flowers. So I did another one with my foot out, 28 millimeters. And I got too close for the 240, okay? Same thing here. I mean, 200 millimeters. But this is a fantastic shot. Look how beautiful. You can see the stems and then you can see the bokeh. So you can get some great shots. I just messed up on the focusing. I should turn off the focus peaking, and I didn't. And then I'm back at my neighborhood, at my house, in the shade. 28, 200, for sale sign. So stop sign, for sale sign. And the tree. See, I had no problem with these trees. 20 millimeter or 20, that's the 28 millimeter, looking right at the speed limit, 20 miles per hour. and that's at 200. And then you can't see it, but a little bit in the shade with the bench, and it's at 200 millimeters. And if you bring it in, that's pretty sharp. So I'm going to end this video on this one right here. And we bring the mouse over here. And there you have it. That's my ending shot. Thank you for tagging along. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.